Welcome, Coyote fans. Basically, it's been a really busy day. A friend of mine came over, Matthew Overbeek, and he worked with me on my Mustang. Matthew has done a Coyote swap into a 1994 Mustang convertible. We're one of 3 Coyote swaps I've identified countrywide that have done them into convertibles, and the other third one was an actual Fox body. So I wanted to start by updating you. First hint that you've got that something is different is my remote works, which means PCM for the car is up and alive. There are 2 connectors at the front of the wiring harness. I'm going to try and direct you to them. They aren't going to stay like this, but one of them is here, and the other one actually powers the PCM. It's this one right here. It's a 4 connector wire, and if it's not connected, you don't have juice. And I didn't remember that when I was disconnecting the wiring harness, so it turns out that I had no power to my PCM, and my dashboard was not working. Matthew helped me route my wiring. It's a 2-person job, so you have to route these components here through the firewall, and I'll show you where I did that here in a minute. But essentially, the power distribution block, PDB, as its power distribution box, uses this plug and another plug below it. That's not it. Anyways, there's 2 plugs in here, and my ODB2 port, and my speed dial to adjust to send the right signal to the Coyote's new PCM will sit in here, along with the bass adjust for my subwoofer. So essentially, and then I'll put the airbag cover back over it. We made some serious progress. I needed some help trying to figure out exactly where to route these wires. It's not really easy. Matthew put his PDB in the kick panel, but I'm going to keep my stock PCM to run my gauges, which will have to work. So I had to find another spot, and as we know, I blew away the airbag to make that room. The other thing is I've determined exactly how to mount this guy. I drilled 1 extra hole, which won't have a tall bolt like that in it. It'll actually be shaved down to about here for holding in this airbox, which just barely fits in the corner of the the Fox body, which this is not a Fox, it's a New Edge, but still, it's very similar to a Fox. As previously mentioned, maybe you missed it, I got the SNR routing working for the belt looping through my engine, and as you can see, it takes a rather strange path here. This is the tensioner. The alternators, instead of being right here where the had to mount the Hydro Boost, because I have hydraulic power steering and power brakes, the alternator gets spun around and mounted here, which is done with a heavy-duty aluminum bracket and some steel posts. Now this kit is fairly new, and I'm guessing not a whole lot of people have been happy with it, because the kit I got came with too long of a belt, and one of these posts was too short. I had to space it out with a nut, so it works, or it should. We'll see. Anyways, what else have I been up to? My fuel system is mounted, in the back at least. A lot of trunk parts here. Sorry, folks, but you can see that my there's a lot of plastic dust. I had to do some profiling, as they say, of my fuel door. In prior videos, you might have seen that I made a really cool fuel door for my to be able to get my sending unit in and out with the trunk closed without having to pull the fuel tank, having to drop the fuel tank. Well, I had to cut the lip off of the bottom of it, which it's made for a boating application, so stuff like that doesn't matter. Well, it took a bit of time and some cutting, and I had to shave down some bolts and some things like that, but there we are. And then over here you can see the fuel pump, and the A and fittings are connected. That was some work, but it was a two-person job because Matthew was with me and was able to make some serious progress, and he'd done it before, so that was really handy. My fuel tank is mounted, and it's nice and snug up in there. And as you can see, I've redone all of the strapping, and everything has got pore 15 on it. There's the 97 to 94 fuel neck coming up out of here. I'm going to put a Stant capless thing similar to my 2011 Cobra. I'll be able just to open this door and pour gas in my car without having to pull a cap. See, I got my wheels back on and my rotor's painted. Big deal. What else did I do? I got my latch put back and the cable hidden, so it routes in a different spot. I got my battery kit working, obviously, and it's powering the car, which is a really nice feature. Now I can listen to music while I work. My battery relocation kit has gone through version 3 of the mounts. The new mounts look awesome, although you may not be able to see it in this lighting. They're angle iron with some small amount of rubber over the top of them to take up the space in the back of the battery. These heavy-duty zip ties will hold them in place. So between that and where the zip ties come out in the front and this like almost inch thick piece of rubber that they're sitting on, they're not going anywhere, and they're kind of shocked, mounted like shock absorber type, like motor mount type situation. I've got some pictures of that I'll post online if you're interested in it, and if you really, really want one, I'll make you a kit, but it'll cost some money, obviously. It's pretty time consuming for me to make these right now. But as you can see, they fit flush with the back of the seat, and the trunk hardware all goes in place, so these are just hidden underneath where the convertible top, which when it's down, it sits right about here. And so this all works. I've had the top up and down. It's wasted space that I used. Did all my cable routing, so you can see the ground locations. I got one here and one over here, and one in the back here. And there will be a final strap in the back that I haven't put together, but it's all coming together. A lot of my planning is paying off. Huge dividends. As I tell you this, I'm getting ready to get on a plane to go to Baltimore to a Society of Manufacturing Engineering conference, so I'm kind of a little bit tired. I've had a long day, so I apologize for my demeanor. This is the new harness that will go to various points under the hood. I've got to put a couple of pins in one of these plugs. I've got the pins, but it's a little bit time consuming to put those in. Still kind of undecided about exactly where I want to put my PCM. I'm thinking I may actually incorporate the PCM in a bracket that I'm putting together here for this anti-lock braking delete. Something maybe to hide this and hold the unit. We'll see. I'm not totally sure. And I've figured out where I'm going to mount my fuel system. As you can see, the lines come through. They're a little extra long. The folks over at High Flow Fuel shipped me this kit a while back. They've been pretty good tech support wise, but it's tedious trying to get this thing up off the top dead center. Anyways, hope you're enjoying the ride. Any more information that you want to know about my builds, you can find it at coyotify.com. That's coyotify.com/WP for the blog. So you can find my blog there where I'll yammer on a little bit more about this stuff. I expect in the next week I'm going to have this motor back in the car. It's probably going to take me a couple days to get the linkages for the suspension mounted. My transmission, I'm waiting on a throwout bearing actuator, the slave cylinder for the hydraulic clutch, which is coming from American Powertrain. So, in other words, there are some things I'm waiting on before I can put everything back together, but it's coming together and rather quickly, and it's looking pretty good. So, hope you're enjoying the ride, and happy Coyotify fans. Bye.